Meet Rain Shroud, a beast tamer kicked out by a manipulative hero's party for his non-combat skills. With Kanade, a cat spirit, Rain discovers his exceptional potential, embarking on an adventurous journey to rise through the ranks and form contracts with ultimate species. Join his quest now. Rain Shroud is suddenly kicked out of his party by Arios, leaving him shocked. When Rain asks why, Leanne harshly says it's because he's useless. The other members mock him, and Arios tells him not to talk since it would be pathetic. Defeated, Rain returns his gear and leaves the party, wondering what he should do next in the city of Horizon before some children approach him, asking if he finished his job and wanting to do their usual activity. Rain happily agrees and sees an eagle, so he makes a temporary contract and has it greet the children, making them very happy. They say they want to be beast tamers like him rather than heroes, since Arios and the others are always annoyed by them, while Rain always plays with them. This makes Rain decide to become an adventurer. At the Adventurers Guild, he signs up and meets the receptionist, Natalie Bro, who explains the adventurer system and asks his class. When he says beast tamer, she gets worried, reminding Rain of Leanne's criticism, but he reassures her he'll be fine. He is given a task to kill 10 goblins as a registration test. Using a squirrel, he tracks and kills the goblins, collecting magic stones, and hears a scream. At least he's got kids and squirrels on his side. Who's laughing now, Arios? He finds a girl cornered by a killer tiger, so he quickly attacks with a knife, but it breaks. As he's cornered, the girl, a member of the cat tribe, defeats the tiger in one blow. Rain gives her food, and she introduces herself as Kanade. She gets angry about his banishment, which makes him happy as she asks him to tame her. And after some hesitation, he succeeds. Wow, didn't know taming was a different name for slavery. While searching for herbs, Rain makes multiple temporary contracts with rabbits, surprising Kanade, who thought beast tamers could only tame one animal at a time, so Rain assures her this is normal, but she insists it should be impossible. At the Adventurers Guild, Rain submits his quest items to Natalie, who tells him he passed his trial. Now an F-ranked adventurer, he receives 50 copper coins. Natalie explains that the payout is low, but he will earn more as he completes more quests and ranks up, as he realizes he needs lodging and more money. Later, in the cafeteria, he tells Kanade he's now an official adventurer and asks if she'd like to accept a quest, which she agrees with, but a man approaches them, interested in her because she's a cat spirit. She refuses his advances, saying she belongs to Rain, her tamer, so the man challenges Rain to an arm wrestling match with Kanade as the prize. Despite hesitating, Rain wins easily before Natalie arrives, apologizes to him, and says the guild was considering suspending the man's license. She also asks Rain how he tamed Kanade, making them both awkward. Rain and Kanade take on an herb gathering job, as it's all Rain can do at F-rank. He contracts horned rabbits to collect herbs, disappointing Kanade. They hear a scream and find an old man surrounded by Ebon Fang bandits, so Kanade wants to retreat, but he wants to fight. They attack the bandits, with Rain showing new strength from his contract with Kanade, after which the old man explains that his hired adventurers ran away, fearing revenge from the Ebon Fangs. Rain decides to take on the rest of the bandits, surprising Kanade, and they scout the hideout using temporarily contracted animals. He decides to paralyze the bandits with Arby's and sends Kanade for backup, which she agrees to despite worrying about him. Rain's former party members, Mina and Leanne, now adventurers, blame their failure on the beast tamer, who defends himself, but they refuse to believe Rain could be skilled. Rain's Arby's paralyze the bandits, and Kanade returns with reinforcements before they defeat 3 Berserk King lizards together, earning praise from other adventurers. Rain feels grateful for Kanade's help and reflects on his progress since leaving Arios' party, my man proving that being an F-rank adventurer is just a stepping stone to greatness. Although Kanade is excited about having real beds to sleep on, Rain is surprised they have to share a room because of the innkeeper. After turning in the bounty on the Ebon Fangs, he and Kanade are summoned to the Adventurers Guild, where Natalie reveals that he is promoted from F rank to E rank, and they receive a reward. They buy new equipment, have a fancy dinner, and end up sharing a room. Despite being initially reluctant, Rain agrees to share the room with Kanade, who feels lucky to have met him. I can see where this is going. A week later, Rain enjoys the relaxed adventuring lifestyle with Kanade. At the Adventurers Guild, Natalie tells them about a hooligan at Stride Bridge offering a 5 gold reward, so Rain accepts the quest. They head to the bridge, where a red dragon lands, transforms into a woman, and introduces herself as Tanya, a dragonoid who challenges them to a fight, and they agree. Tanya attacks Rain, who barely defends himself before she sets Kanade's tail on fire. Kanade fights Tanya while Rain watches in amazement and tries to help, but Tanya throws them both into the air. They dodge her fire attack, and she acknowledges their strength, so Rain asks Kanade to buy him 3 minutes and contracts a bird to call for reinforcements. He quickly attacks Tanya with poisonous birds, immobilizing her, after which she surrenders and agrees to come with him. Reporting back to Natalie, Rain quickly leaves with Kanade and Tanya. Outside, they stop Tanya from revealing she's a dragonoid, so he scolds her and forms a contract with her. That night, as Rain sleeps on the floor, Kanade and Tanya argue about who will sleep in the bed while watching him. Should have been me, not him. Rain's team is tasked with defeating slimes, which creeps Kanade out because they are sticky when killed. Sounds kinda sus, not gonna lie. Tanya boasts she can handle them all, so Kanade praises her, which makes Rain feel happy about their bond. Unable to find slimes, Rain uses his Beast Tamer skill Assimilate to merge with a bird and search for them, surprising Tanya and Kanade. He locates the slimes and Tanya suggests he use Fireball, so Rain's spell destroys all the slimes, surprising him and Kanade. Tanya explains his abilities have increased since contracting with her before more slimes appear, and she teaches him to control his magic better. Later, Tanya and Kanade tell a little girl they completed the slime subjugation quest and spend the day walking through town before having dinner. Rain tells them about how his village was destroyed by monsters and how he joined Arios' group to prevent similar incidents. Hearing this saddens Tanya and Kanade, who express their anger at the hero's party's treatment of Rain, but he reassures them it's in the past. The next day, the group defeats orcs, and one stabs Rain, but he heals himself and suggests collecting magical ores. That afternoon, Rain learns Tanya wants some alone time as she reflects on her actions by the river, talks to a little girl, and feels better. She apologizes to Rain and realizes her feelings for him, but denies them as just fondness. The next day, after another successful quest, Tanya says they should buy new equipment, but before they can, they run into Arios' party, who mockingly greets them. Rain suggests they take a different road before Arios insults him, but Tanya and Kanade stand up for him, and she questions whether Arios' group truly is the hero party. Arios tries to argue back but realizes Tanya is a dragonoid and Kanade is a cat spirit, both powerful creatures tamed by Rain. He remarks that they had to retreat from the Lost Woods and offers Rain a chance to rejoin them. Agath, Leanne, and Mina suggest he should be thankful, but he declines. Mina tries to persuade him by telling him about the Shield of Truth relic that could help against the Demon King, so he reluctantly agrees after thinking about it, and Arios' group criticizes him for not agreeing sooner. What a bunch of dumbasses. As they leave, Tanya and Kanade demand an apology from the hero party, and she threatens them, but Arios insists that Rain control his pets, hearing which Rain angrily punches him. Shocked, Arios challenges Rain and his tamed creatures to a duel, which Rain accepts. In the duel, Kanade defeats Agath with her strength, while Tanya effortlessly counters Mina and Leanne's magic, causing them to collapse. Rain faces off against Arios, sustaining minor injuries, but using his enhanced abilities from his contracts with Kanade and Tanya, he defeats him, after which he, Kanade, and Tanya celebrate their victory together. Rain and his group head into the ominous Lost Woods in search of the Shield of Truth. In a flashback, Arios' group apologizes to Rain after Tanya forces them to be sincere. Despite Kanade and Tanya's doubts about Arios' sincerity, Rain agrees to get the shield for them. In the present, Rain tells Tanya and Kanade about how important the shield is before using his Beast Tamer ability to merge with a bird while they stay to watch over his body. They find a path, but get lost despite following the correct route. Tanya's material search reveals an illusionary magic tree blocking their path, but before Kanade can act, a fairy appears, warning them to leave. They retreat to discuss the encounter and Kanade suggests breaking the tree, but Rain insists on speaking to the fairy alone. Approaching cautiously, he tries to talk with the fairy who threatens him. Confident in his negotiation skills, he withstands her illusion arrows with help from Kanade and Tanya, and they argue with the fairy. Intrigued, the fairy named Sora listens and explains the barrier protects the fairy village before giving Rain the shield. Sora declines Rain's offer to help due to an ancient agreement, but opens up about her twin sister Runa and their duty. She tells him about running into a Shadow Knight from the Demon King's army and escaping, leaving Runa behind. Moved by Sora's story, Rain vows to rescue Runa, which makes her tear up as she embraces him. Born to get shields, forced to take care of fairies, what a Chad. In a flashback, Sora explains that the Shadow Knight demanded the barrier around the fairy village be lowered by sundown for Runa's release. Knowing this, Rain's group goes to fight the Shadow Knight, choosing not to bring Sora along to honor her agreement with the monster. At the Shadow Knight's throne, Rain starts the fight with a fireball spell, allowing Kanade and himself to attack as the Shadow Knight realizes Sora's involved and goes after Runa, but Tanya steps in, freeing Runa and escaping with her. Rain then enhances Kanade's abilities, allowing her to defeat the Shadow Knight decisively. Later, Runa happily meets up with Sora and they thank Rain's group. Despite hoping that Runa and Sora would return to their village, Sora decides to distance herself due to how their people abandoned Runa, so Kanade invites the fairies to join them, as Rain forms a pact with Runa and Sora. Later, Rain meets the heroes' party to deliver the Shield of Truth, impressing them with this efficiency. Despite being doubtful, Mina confirms the shield's real, surprising everyone before Arios notices the fairies and offers Rain a chance to rejoin their group. But Rain declines, happy with his current journey. Under a tree, Rain discusses the legend of the first hero and the concept of limit break. Despite suggestions to capture more powerful creatures, Rain values his current companions and hesitates to take the role of hero. So Kanade reassures him of their support, urging him to make decisions at his own pace. One sunny morning, Rain wakes up on the floor while his party sleeps in the beds, hoping a room becomes available soon. After breakfast, Rain and his friends discuss buying gear for their travels, which he agrees to. As they walk through town, Runa and Sora are cautious as people notice their fairies, but Rain reassures them and watches Kanade and Tanya interacting with the locals. They're shocked when some children mistake Runa and Sora for Rain's wives, irritating Sora as Runa nearly reveals her fairy identity with magic, but is stopped by Rain and Sora. Wow, I'm sure these kind of coincidences can happen in real life as well, right guys? They visit a weapon shop and meet Gantz, a dwarf displaying various weapons. Rain senses an unusual aura from a dagger he notices as another customer buys a sword, so Rain asks Gantz about his weapon quality. Runa and Sora criticize Gantz, but he defends his craftsmanship and shows them his best weapons. Rain explains his skill as a beast tamer in recognizing quality, impressing Gantz, who agrees to craft a custom weapon with the right materials. At the Adventurers Guild, they learn Arios is recruiting in Horizon. Rain introduces Natalie to Runa and Sora and takes on a quest from Gantz to retrieve mithril ore from his family's mine. Encouraged by his team, Rain decides to go for a weapon instead of gold as a reward, which delights Gantz. During the journey, Runa and Sora wear out quickly, and Rain finds a lake for them to refreshen and arranges temporary contracts with squirrels to watch over them. While resting nearby, he hears Kanade scream when a fish bites her tail, accidentally catching a glimpse of the girls naked. Sora is upset, but Tanya and Kanade forgive him, understanding it was unintentional. Arriving at the mine, Rain suspects theft, so they fight and disarm two thieves before Runa and Sora use magic to look into their minds, confirming Rain's suspicions and identifying one adventurer as a fellow beast tamer. Inside the mithril mines, the thieves who were defeated inform their allies, who vow revenge against Rain's beast tamer. As they move through a tunnel, the group is suddenly attacked by 4 adventurers, but they swiftly defeat them. Facing the last remaining beast tamer and his powerful behemoth monster, Rain starts battling him and the beast tamer takes control of the behemoth, claiming he raised it from infancy, bypassing standard taming procedures. Their fight causes the mine to shake, so Kanade and the others hurry to evacuate the captured thieves for safety, and she returns to help Rain, holding off the beast tamer while he handles the raging behemoth. Despite their efforts, the beast tamer refuses to surrender, making the behemoth go even wilder, seeing which Rain reluctantly uses a fireball spell to restrain it. Outside the mine, it's revealed that the thieves wanted revenge on Gantz for selling them poorer weapons, and Gantz regrets his dismissive behavior, feeling he failed as a craftsman. Rain encourages him to recommit himself, and he promises to craft honestly once more, starting with Rain's new dagger and gauntlet. Meanwhile, Arios turns down a beast tamer applicant, disappointing Mina, who asks why he's so strict compared to Rain's more flexible approach, and Arios considers using a cursed ring for revenge against Rain. This jerk is frickin' deranged at this point. The next day, Rain tells Natalie about what happened to the thieves, feeling disheartened by the result. He discusses it with Runa and Sora before they stroll through town together, enjoying hot dogs. They're suddenly interrupted when an arrogant-looking man loudly demands to know Runa and Sora's identities. Despite Runa and Sora rejecting him, Edgar Fromware, a noble, keeps declaring his love for them. So Rain steps in, demanding to know Edgar's identity. Edgar, the son of Horizon's lord, surrounds them with soldiers and insists on his proposal, which Rain turns down once more. Angered, Edgar orders an attack, but Rain swiftly defeats his soldiers. Desperate, Edgar tries to hold hostages to force them, revealing his hate for the people he rules. But Rain uses his fairy magic, freeing the hostages with a powerful fireball spell, humiliating Edgar, who hurriedly runs away. However, a mysterious figure in a cloak warns them to leave Horizon for their own safety. Later, at the inn, Runa and Sora tell Kanade and Tanya about what happened, discussing Rain's newfound magical abilities from their contract. They learn about Edgar's dark history of kidnapping and abuse, protected by his influential father, as the Knights dismiss any accusations against Edgar, so Rain and his team decide to fight Edgar to protect the city. Time for the stereotypical, the brave hero and his team of waifus take down a rich brat. The next day at the Fromware Manor, Edgar makes a plan with his knight Gillet after mistreating a slave servant before a mysterious cloaked figure, revealed as Arios, visits him, offering him a cursed ring to use against Rain. Outside Edgar's mansion, soldiers warn Stella and her knights not to proceed, so Stella asserts her authority, mentioning Gillet's arrest for corruption and ordering them to let her enter for inspection. Tanya and Kanade step in when the soldiers resist and signal an attack. Surrounded, Tanya and Kanade break through the gate as Edgar watches, preparing to face Rain with a cursed ring. Meanwhile, Rain, Runa, and Sora sneak into the mansion's basement to rescue hostages. Runa plans to use material search magic to teleport them out, but senses a strong magical presence, likely the captives, and another matching Sora's. Rain suspects an ultimate species is held there and assigns the fairies to rescue the hostages while he searches for the creature. Alone in the mansion, he finds Nina, a demigod, imprisoned. Initially wary, he warms up to Rain after healing her, and flashbacks reveal Nina's forced recruitment by Edgar. In present day, she explains what happened to her, and Rain vows to free her, struggling initially but breaking the spell with the help from his tamed creatures. Outside, Stella, her knights, Kanade, and Tanya fight soldiers, supported by Runa and Sora, who have rescued hostages. Edgar's father arrives, ordered to surrender by Stella, but he refuses and gets trapped by Rain before Edgar intervenes with a Reaper summoned by Arios' ring, apparently striking Rain fatally. On the mansion's roof, Arios believes Rain is dead. However, Rain survives, revealing his immunity to death spells. Runa tests this with a poison spell, confirming Rain's resistance to status effects, a benefit from their contract. Watching from above, Edgar transforms into a demon using dark energy from his ring, which shocks Rain, who remembers how his village was destroyed by a demon. The demon escapes from Edgar's mansion, so Rain and his group chase after it, and he tells Stella and Nina to help the townsfolk instead of fighting the demon directly. As the demon rampages through the town, it's first stopped by Kanade and then faced by Rain's group. Their attacks fail and the demon calls for backup. Despite their efforts, it sets parts of the town on fire, so Runa and Sora use light magic to hold it in place, while Rain enhances Kanade and Tanya's abilities. They manage to cut off the demon's left arm, but it regroups, intending to destroy Horizon, as Runa and Sora teleport the townsfolk to safety. Meanwhile, Nina informs Arios about the demon, but he remains focused on the mission against the Demon Lord. Stella, her knights, and Nina defeat the demon's backup, so Sora and Runa help in evacuating the townsfolk before Nina joins Rain's group to help. Using her power, Rain fights the demon and manages to restrain it while taking control of the monsters. Enraged, the demon attacks Rain but is ultimately defeated. After the battle, Nina and Rain recover as Horizon begins to rebuild. Stella becomes the Knight Captain, Jaleh and Edgar's father get punished, and Nina hopes to reunite with her village. At the inn where Rain's group stayed, Nina officially becomes a member. Later at the Adventurers Guild, Natalie and Stella announce that the Knights are teaming up with the guild and promote Rain's group to C rank for their achievements in Horizon before Natalie warmly welcomes Nina with a hug. After sorting out their promotions, Rain talks to Natalie about their housing problem and suggests they look into buying a house. After some thought, Rain agrees and they start searching. Most houses meet their needs except the last one, which Natalie reveals is haunted. Interested, Rain decides they should investigate further. Inside, a ghostly voice tells them to leave, and a maid ghost appears, so Sora and Runa try Holy Circle, but the ghost dodges. They find out the ghost means no harm, but she frightens Kanade because of her fear. Despite ghosts being immune to physical attacks, Kanade's fear makes her vulnerable. After chasing the ghost, Sora and Runa use Sacred Seal to trap it, and Rain, who's skilled in dealing with ghosts, stops it from possessing him and convinces the maid named Tina to talk. Of course he does, he's the frickin' overpowered protagonist. Tina shares her story and Rain decides to buy the house. Meanwhile, the hero's party gets hated by the locals, which upsets Arios, who angrily walks away. Back home, Rain and Kanade celebrate with a dinner. Before they eat, Rain reflects thankfully on meeting his friends and remembers his parents, feeling hopeful about the future. Thanks for joining Rain Shroud's adventure. Subscribe for more amazing magical tales like this one. Make sure to like the video, comment, and stay tuned for what's next. Until then, stay enchanted.